Hello. If this is your first time, my name is Lydia Nicole, and this is Acting Smarter Now. Today, I want to talk to you about being rejection proof, how to build a mindset that you as an actor needs to thrive. As an actor, rejection is part of our life. We go for things, we don't get it. Um, and it could be devastating. It can take an emotional toll on you if you are not equipped to take care of yourself. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the fact that every actor encounters rejection, from the new actor to the most experienced actor, like people, actors like Meryl Streep and Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. Every actor faces rejection. What separates the successful actors is that they don't take it personal. They understand it's a business, or they don't take it as personal as young actors. So I want to talk to you about the devastation, first of all, that rejection can bring. It can impact your self-confidence and your self-esteem. It can chip away at you, that every time you go out for an audition, all you get is no, 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 no. So let's talk about why you get the no's. You can get the no's that have nothing to do with your talent or your ability or you. They may be looking for a certain person, and you are capable, you can do fantastic stuff, but they're looking for somebody very specific. They want somebody who matches the look of the leading actor, or somebody who has a big name. Especially if you go up for a leading role, they are looking for actors who can bring bring butts to the seat, right? They want actors who can bring butts to the seat. And you may not have that profile. You may not be equipped. People may not know you yet. You may be very talented, very capable, but they don't know you. And a studio who is spending millions and millions of dollars on a project may not want to bank on you. And it's not personal. They want to recoup their money. What we as actors have to remember is this is a business. Even though it feels personal, it's a business. So they're looking at what they're going to get back. What is the money they're going to get back? Most films that open, that are studio films, have a lead that we all know. Somebody like Michael B. Jordan, somebody like Brad Pitt, somebody like Viola Davis, somebody who people want to go see in the theaters. Meryl Streep. They have already proven themselves at the box office, so they are going to be the first choice for the studios. A Kiki Palmer, even a SZA. She has proven herself with her records. That's why sometimes you see musical artists crossing over into films, because they have a big following. The studio is banking on butts in the seats. Butts in the seats means money in the bank for them. So that is something for you to really pay attention to. Let's talk about the impact of rejection on your self-esteem, on your self-confidence. And if it goes on too long, it can have a horrible effect on your motivation. It can have a horrible effect on your career, because you start to get PTSD. It's like, oh my God, your confidence is gone. You're like, oh my God, I've gone on 16 auditions and I keep getting turned down. And this is even bigger. Rejection is even more prominent in commercial acting, because Commercial acting is really about the numbers. You can hit 15 auditions and not book one. Maybe you'll get a availability, but you don't book it. And so it is really hard if you don't have the proper tools to take care of yourself, because it can make you be very anxious. It can make you feel very sensitive. You can just go into a depression. You can start using substances because you're trying to find a way to lessen the pain from the rejections. So let's talk about, we've talked about, the devastation of rejection. We don't want to be rejected. Nobody wants to be rejected. Guys who ask girls out don't want to be rejected. Girls who break up with guys, they don't want to be rejected, or are broken up with guys, they don't want to be rejected. So what are some of the tools that you can start using to help you reframe rejection? The first thing is accept rejection as part of the process, and understand that by you going on an audition, you got to accept it. The fact that you went on an audition, you won. Do you know how many people submit for auditions, submit to be able to put themselves on self-tapes, and they do not get called in? They do not get to do a self-tape. The fact that you got it, the fact that you were able to do it, means you are in the running. You're a winner. We don't talk about that enough. We only talk about, well, I went on the job, but I went for the job, but I didn't get it. I auditioned for it, but I didn't get it. I put myself on tape, but I didn't get it. You were given the opportunity. Right there, that makes you successful. And you have to accept it as part of the process. Well, you don't have to, but I would say to you to start reframing it. I remember, I wish someone had told me this when I was first starting out in the business. It would have saved me so much heartache. But I remember working with a casting director, and she really laid it out for me, so I will share it with you. Her thing was, and this is why I say the fact that you go out on an audition means you win. She said, you got to treat every audition as a win. You got to treat it like you've already won the game. And whether you book that job or it's another job, the fact that you went into the room, you went prepared, you gave it your all, you made strong choices, you came in kicking butt, they will remember you. And I would add to that when you go into an audition or you do a self-tape, always send a thank you note to the casting people. Always. Make it part of your day-to-day stuff. When you get an audition, you should say thank you to the casting director, thank you to the assistant, thank you to the associate. Why, you ask? Because the casting assistant, the casting associate, they will probably be the one in charge in a year or 2 years, and they will remember your kindness. So you see the audition as part of the process so that you can start reframing this business for yourself, that a rejection is not the end of the world. There are just things in place that they were looking for somebody else. So I talked about not taking it personally. Well, in not taking it personally, give yourself a mantra. This, first of all, you have no control over auditions. They will either hire you or they won't. It's beyond your control. But what is in your control? Again, I go back to you being prepared, you knowing the lines, you doing the best job you can, making the hottest choices you can, and having a good attitude, because those are the key components to winning in this business. If you have a great attitude, if you keep yourself in check, if you're seeing the audition, the interview, the self-tape as a way to be of service. Be of service. Oh my God, I did this audition. I was of service today. That's that's that is a win. That is a win. You were of service. You did something fantastic, and now you get to move on. Then, if you don't get it, it's for somebody else. I believe that every role has somebody's name on it. They might see 100 person, but there's only one person that has their name on that thing. When I went out on auditions regularly, I would always go in, again, once I was given information from that casting director, I shifted how I saw things. I would always go in with, it's either for me or it's not, but I know I am winning from this. And sometimes I went in and I was right for it, but I wasn't prepared as best as I could be. I didn't really work on the material as best as I could. I didn't look to find out who is doing this project. I didn't do my research. So I had to be honest with myself and go, you know what? I wasn't prepared for that opportunity. So they did right by not giving me the role, because I wasn't up to par. That's important to know. Are you up to par? Do you have everything you need? We talk about, oh, I didn't get that. I didn't get that job. I did the self-tape, but they didn't take me. But were you prepared? Did you come with everything? Did you really, was it really a part that you could knock out the box? As actors, we want to go and audition for everything, but everything is not for us. Every audition we go for is not tailor-made for us. The best we can do when we go in there is to just show them our skills, our craft, show them what we got, be light and grateful and have a good attitude. That's what they'll remember when you leave. That is important as an actor. You got to show up and show out. Once it's done, leave it. I was always very intentional about the jobs I was going for. And when I read the script, I always knew, ooh, this is perfect for me. Or I went, I'm not quite right. And a couple of times I got in trouble when I wasn't quite right. And I told the casting director, hey, I'm not right for this, but I know a couple of actors you might want to bring in because they would be perfect for this. And there were a couple of times when I said that to casting directors, they kind of reprimanded me, telling me they know how to do their job, when that wasn't my intention. I just wanted to be of service. So sometimes it does backfire. But I walked out of there feeling like, well, I got to meet the casting director. I wasn't right for it, but I got to meet the casting director. Hopefully they'll remember me. And so when I had those little hiccups, I would write a note thanking them and apologizing, to say, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to slight you. I just wanted to assist. So that is a way that I started to reframe auditions that I wasn't right for. And if there are auditions that you're right for, that you do go up on, that you do self-tapes for, and you don't get it, see if you can get feedback. Maybe that was a part that you needed coaching on, and you thought you could wing it. It's important as actors to get coaching when you are doing self-tapes, when you are going in for callbacks. If you're doing another self-tape for a callback, or if you are on a Zoom for a callback, you should have coaching to help you. So if you're prepared, you've done your coaching, you've done everything, and you did well, and you got feedback saying, sometimes I would get feedback. I would ask my agent for feedback, and I would get feedback, and they would say, oh, she was great, she just wasn't right for this part. And a lot of times it's not even about your talent. It has to do with your height, it has to do with your look. They want you to match that actor. They want there to be chemistry. Sometimes you have self tapes, and then you will have a chemistry read. If they liked you enough, you'll get a chemistry read with the lead actor to see how well the two of you do. That is important, and that again is out of your control, whether you have chemistry with somebody or you don't. Sometimes we just there is no chemistry. Think of it this way. Sometimes you go out on a date, and on paper or on the app that person looks great, and then you meet them and you go, this is not for me. No, no, no. And so you have to, you let it go. You go, oh no, that was not mine. That was not for me. So I want you to learn to separate yourself from the audition. Go, do, be, have fun, but don't take it personal where it can jack you up for a month, a year, or your lifetime. Reframe rejection. It's helpful if you can reframe the rejection, not as a door slamming in your face, but as a signpost pointing you elsewhere. When before I did Stand and Deliver, I went out on a few jobs and I got it was between me and another person, and I didn't get it. And I was devastated by it. That's why I'm talking about rejection, because I know that devastation. But right after that, I went up for Stand and Deliver. And I didn't get it right away. I actually had 6 callbacks. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 callbacks before I booked that job. And the reason why I tell you this is because I knew it was my role. So every time I went in there, I just went in there more determined. It was like, look, and then finally I said, look, either you guys give me the part or you don't. I'm not coming back. And I actually have done that on several occasions where I've gone up for stuff multiple times. And I just said, okay, this is it. And this is how I said it to them. Look, I'm not coming back. So you decide, either you want me or you don't. Because this is too much. Gas is expensive. I'm not doing this. I'm not saying for you to do that, but I'm just telling you what I have done in the past. And I've learned to trust the process. That when you don't get something, you're given a no, that it just means there's an opportunity somewhere else, that you didn't get that role because there's a better role for you. And what you don't want is to get that job and then you miss out on the role of a lifetime because you got that job and you weren't available for that job that was perfect for you. And that happens a lot. Actors start getting heat and then they are wanted on multiple projects. But the problem is those multiple projects are shooting at the same time and they can't work it out in the schedule to be able to do all the parts. So learn to trust the process. Start giving yourself mantras that help you to stay centered, to know this is my business. I am a working actor. Things go my way. Everything is in order for me. So I'm releasing it. I trust the process. I trust it. I go forward. The next thing I would say to you to help you in uh, not taking rejection personally is to create a support network. Build, have a supportive community. uh, Build some friends that you can connect with, so when you don't get that audition that you really were banking on, that you have a group that comes and loves on you and tells you everything is going to be okay, because sometimes we need that. Sometimes, we can try to reframe, but we just need people to hug us and remind us of how important we are, how much of a difference we make. We need that. So a supportive community is important. It could be friends, family, fellow actors, mentors. But you want people who really support you, not who say, well, you didn't get that because you weren't good. No, who come and say, hey, we're with you. You're still a winner. The fact that you went in for that job makes you a winner. That's what you got to stand on. Also, in handling rejection, it's important to take care of yourself. Practice self-care, practice balance, not making a job so important. And sometimes the reason why we make it so important is because financially we are in trouble and we think that job is going to save us. And I would say to you, part of not taking rejection personally is to have another form of income coming in, so that job doesn't become like, I gotta get this job, if I don't I'm gonna drown, I'm gonna die. No, make sure you have a side hustle, you have stuff coming in so that it can sustain you in those dry seasons, because sometimes you can go out during the season for a lot of auditions but not get it. And again, it has nothing to do with you. It's beyond your control. But if you've got money coming in from other sources, you're going to be okay. Another thing in taking care of yourself is making sure you exercise regularly, that you have sufficient sleep, that you're eating well, that you keep yourself with a healthy mindset, that you have hobbies outside of acting, that you have other creative outlets to do. Is it cooking? Is it painting? Is it photography? Is it going to the shooting range? One of my favorite little well, not a hobby, but my favorite pastimes was the whack-a-moles, going to the arcade and playing with those little animals that would come out, and you had to hit it with the mallet. Oh my God, that just took all the stress out of me. I would go in there maybe for an hour and just hit those things. Bam, 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 bam. And that was the way that I got out my stress, and it made me feel better. Going to the gym makes you feel better. Maybe working out, dancing, go out dancing. But do stuff that is outside of acting that gives you joy as well. Also, again, the positive mindset. Along with positive mindset, celebrate your small wins. So if you went out on 5 auditions and you didn't book one, celebrate the fact that, first of all, your agent submitted you or you submitted yourself and you got 5 auditions. You got 5 auditions. That is awesome. Celebrate that. Buy yourself an ice cream cone. Go take yourself out to the movies. Go to take a walk on the beach or in the park, or go to a museum when it's a lot of museums will have days where you can just pay what you can, or you can go in for free. But do stuff for yourself to celebrate you, to celebrate the fact that you are doing what you want. Maybe you didn't get the job, but hey, you are working on your craft. You are out there practicing. Auditioning is practicing, and you're practicing. Baseball players have to practice. They have to practice daily. So the fact that you went up on auditions, it is a win. Celebrate that. Celebrate everything that's going on in your life. Little things. I found a nickel. Celebrate that. The cashier was extra nice to me today. Celebrate that. Oh my God, that was so nice. Somebody called you and gave you a compliment. Celebrate that. Um, so practice not being disappointed. Practice it. We practice being resilient. Resilient isn't something that you just come with. You got to practice it. You got to practice it by when something negative comes your way, put out something positive. The Bible talks about what the heart thinks, the mouth speaks. So if I feel like a loser, I'm going to speak like a loser. But if I'm putting things in me that makes me feel like a winner, I'm speaking it, I'm hearing it, it is getting deposited in my heart. So speak good things about yourself to yourself every day. I am kicking butt today. I am unstoppable. Do your little poses. That's a way of practicing resilience. I am superwoman. Go out there, do things, practice things that allow you not to dwell on rejection or not to dwell on negativity. If you have friends who are Debbie Downers, then stay away from them as best as you can, because maybe they're not the friends you need right now. But focus on what is good. What is good? There's another scripture in the Bible that says, think on things that are good and holy and are of pure report. They have to be good. It has to be something that feeds your spirit, that feeds your mindset. You have to start to master how you think. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. What are you thinking? If you're thinking a doubt, if you're thinking unbelief, if you're thinking that you are a imposter, and I heard something great the other day about imposter syndrome. They said imposter syndrome is just that you are doubting because you are growing. And I thought that was such a great way of reframing imposter syndrome. I am growing. You are growing. If you are alive and breathing, you should be growing. So think of good things. I'm growing. This is the first time I got to go in to meet with this casting director. My little mantra is, I've never been here before. How exciting is this? I've never done this before. How exciting is this? Give yourself little mantras that will help you, and set boundaries between your career and yourself. There are two separate things. I am an actor, but I am also a human being. So my acting, even though it is my body I use to act, I'm not going to take it personal if they reject me. I'm going to see it as, well, let me work on some other stuff. Let me get myself together. What can I do? Can I make a lovely dinner, invite some friends over who make me feel good? Can I go to a dog park and watch the dogs, or take my dog for a walk? What can I do today for myself? Finally, know when to seek help, because sometimes, a lot of rejection will pile up on you, and it can be devastating. So maybe you need to speak to a counselor or a therapist who understands the creative industries, because you might get a therapist to say, get out of that business. Maybe not. You want somebody who understands, who can guide you, who can walk you through it, so you don't feel like it's personal. You don't feel the pressure of not getting it. And finally, Stay passionate and remember your why. Why did you get into this business in the first place? What is it about acting that makes you feel good? I love the process. It makes me excited. So if I love the process, it makes me excited. Hey, I don't think I'm going to wait for an audition. I think I'm going to write something for myself. I think I'm going to I'm going to write myself a little short. I'm going to write myself a little web series. I could do a 1 minute web series. That's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on my one person show. I'm going to work on, maybe I want to do stand up. I'm going to work on doing stand up. I'm going to work on doing other stuff that fuels my creativity and encourages me and keeps my passion alive. You are an amazing actor and human being. You are a superstar. I know you're a superstar. The thing you want to work on is letting everybody else know you are a superstar. And how you do that is by showing up in your joy, showing up to serve, showing up with hot choices when you get these auditions or when you get a part, showing up and practice saying, I get to act, I get to do this, instead of I have to do this, I gotta, because when you say I get to, it conjures up joy. When you get into I must, I have to, it is so hard on the body. You are amazing. Let it flow. Be easy with it. Be easy. You don't have to work so hard. Be easy with it. Let it flow. Do your work. Work on your characters. Work on your monologues. Work on scenes. Find other actors that you could work on scenes with to keep you going. Stay in class. Sharpen your tool. Get coaching for stuff so you can be best prepared. But remember, most importantly, rejection is not necessarily no forever. It just means no for right now. So make this day an incredible day. And if you need more, go to my YouTube channel, Lydia Nicole Live, and check out my playlists. I have a ton of playlists that can serve you and help you. I have one on mindset for actors, one on the business, one on craft. I got a lot of stuff. I have great interviews with actors, directors, producers, showrunners. I have so much stuff to help you, the actor. So go there, be blessed. Go to Lydia Nicole Live on YouTube. And let me know what you think of this message today. Let me know if it has helped you. Let me know if you need something else, how I can be of service. I wish you the most amazing day today. I will see you next time.